What up, Joe? What up, Joe?
But man, how are you? Got the
Not too bad, bro.
see prime with your Raiders gear. I see
What's up, my man?
you're prime with your Raiders gear. I see
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know it, Joe.
at the background. What's up? Cool.
Is the audio clear? Can you hear
Yeah,
me, bro?
yeah,
All
I
right.
can hear you. You're good. Sweet,
Awesome.
sweet. So, welcome back, everybody, and welcome back to another a recurring guest on the podcast. Although you haven't seen them in a while, or haven't seen them, but you've heard them. But there's my bud Matt, Raiders fan, as you can tell. So. Appreciate your time and welcome back, Matt. You see,
Thank you, Joe. It's good to be back, bro. Good to be back on the on the pod. It's been
yeah,
a while.
yeah, true. Um, Much that has happened, particularly for your team. Um, so let's dive into it, shall we? Um, so, um, so even before the draft, a lot of stuff. So, the Max Crosby thing, and that, or the almost thing. And then you guys signed Lindebaum and Naylor on the offense, and then Clay Walker along with Nakobe Dean. And then you guys signed Kirk Cousins to
Yup.
mentor uh, Fernando. And then the draft comes, and then just curious to your thoughts.
Yeah, overall I think it was a great draft for us. I would give it like A minus in the draft. Free agency wise, I would probably give it about like an A to A plus. I think we nailed free agency when it came down to the acquisitions that we made, whether that being linebackers like Dean or you know what I mean. We got, like you said, Tyler from the Ravens. That was a good one. That was a good pickup. Kirk Cousins, great mentor for Fernando Mendoza for the near future. Um, yeah, just overall good pieces, man. I think we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a Raiders fan as well in one of my classes, and my therapist is a Raiders fan as well. So they have a few differing opinions, or just different emotions. But yes, it's going to be a tough division. We know that, but
Always is.
yeah, but at least you can see signs of optimism for the Raiders, at least this season.
Yep. I think overall too, we did good in the draft. We picked up a safety from Arizona, the University of Arizona. We also picked up, I think, is the best CB in McCoy from Tennessee. I know he's has a lot of concerns. He slipped to the fourth round in injuries, but if we can keep him healthy and everything goes good with his knee, I think that he's going to be one of the biggest steals in the draft this year. He slipped down to the fourth round just because of an ongoing, I think it was bone spurts in his knee. They said that within the next 6 months to a year that he might have to do surgery again. But he says himself that he's fine. But any player can say anything they want to get drafted. But if he does continue to rehab and he gets healthy, I think that it's going to be the biggest steal of the draft for sure. He's a great lockdown corner, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it definitely felt like McCoy and Ty Simpson uh, were the two wild cards the drafts, or at least when you looked at the top 50 per se prospects, and McCoy we saw fell, but we saw a save when he was healthy at Tennessee. So, you know,
Let's see, man. It's gonna be an interesting year. It's gonna be a cool preseason to see all the rookies play. I don't expect Fernando Mendoza to do a lot of early reps in the actual regular season. but I do expect him to get all of the preseason snaps, and I expect him to learn the offense as he's under Kirk Cousins. So that should be fun, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Uh, and certainly, well, Ashton Genty, he got that 1 year under his belt. It did not go the way I think people intended, but another year in the system plus signing Linderbaum has to
Yeah.
help the offense line.
Well, the thing is too about Ashton Genty that I think a lot of people forget in his rookie season is he had the worst O line in the league. Um, he had an out of date coach in Pete Carroll. The offensive coordinator, I should say, he wasn't really good. Um, but I'm very optimistic on Ashton because he showed a lot of flashes in his rookie trial. I think that he's gonna do really good considering he got a new vamped offensive line. I think that Clint Kubiak's going to be great for the system, for the running system. Um, the only difference is that he does a lot of under center, so not necessarily Ashton Genty, but Fernando Mendoza is going to have to adjust to that a little bit more in the league. But as for Ashton Genty, I have all the expectations because we saw those flashes like against the Chicago Bears. Shout out Cooper. Um, he had a lot of flashes against the Houston Texans. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna do good in this next year.
Yeah. And Naylor um, brings experience at wide receiver core. I mean, to just someone to get the ball to other than Brock Bowers, um, and certainly help whoever's at quarterback this season.
Yep,
Um, yeah. Um,
that's a good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Naylor's great. He came from Minnesota, and obviously he was a wide receiver too because they got Justin Jefferson, but he's very good. I see a lot of potential in him to take over for our team, especially now that we have Brock Bowers. He's going to be coming back healthy. Ashton Genty's really good. He's very underrated, I should say, in the past game. So I think that's going to be a good thing for him. Um, we still have Trey Tucker, a speedster, runs a 4.3. So I think that's going to be good to open up lanes either for Brock, either for Naylor, or even Trey Tucker himself. We also got a second rounder last year. Um, off the tip of my tongue, I forgot his name. It's from TCU, I think.
oh yeah, Besh, Jack Besh.
Besh, yeah, Jack Besh. I think Jack Besh will do a lot better in his second year. He had a lot of flashes at the end of the year. I'm excited for him.
Yeah. I mean, Kubiak, offense coach. I mean, point blank, he's the youngest coach now in the division automatically. So, you know, hopefully he can take whatever he learned the last couple of years from the Saints and the Seahawks and find a way with this Raves team.
Yep, I'm excited, bro. It's gonna be a fun year. I don't expect, like I said, Fernando Mendoza to make an appearance until maybe like after week 6, week 7, just depending on Kirk does. I honestly hope Kirk does good because it would be great for him just to sit behind Kirk and learn the whole playbook throughout the year. If we do make it to the playoffs, learn how playoffs go. I think Kirk is a lot better option than Geno Smith. I will say that. Even from the get-go, even before the season started last year, I didn't think Geno Smith was going to be that good. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he was, but I'd pick Kirk over Geno any day.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Cousins did well down the stretch last season when Penix was hurt for the Falcons. It just with that contract, they opted to release him. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, the contract that he got with the Raiders was, they said it's a 5-year deal, maybe a 3-year deal. I'm not too sure, but there's only 1 year guaranteed. So if Kirk does good, we could keep him, we could resign him, or if he doesn't do good, we got Fernando Mendoza in the background. So whatever happens, whatever we end up doing, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Time will tell for Vegas. Yeah. Um, Basketball playoffs have been very wild so far, I gotta say. Yeah. I
For
mean
sure.
that that comeback, I know you've been keeping up with the Wolves.
Yes.
That that comeback by Detroit Pistons, I don't know if you saw last night.
Yeah,
My
for
God.
sure.
Kid Cunningham and company, that fight.
Cade is good, bro. He's one of the best in the league, one of the most underrated, actually. I think it's nothing but bright things for Cade in the future. He's always been good. I knew that when he was coming out of college that he was gonna be good, but his first couple years in the league weren't too good. I think it had to do a lot with coaching and just the organization needed to get back up on its feet. But when it comes to it, I think that I really see that the Detroit Pistons beating Orlando Magic and going on to the next round. I'm hoping. I'm hoping they go
Yeah, I mean, after that loss, it's gonna be hard for Orlando. And I like Paul and I like Franz and Bing, but after that collapse, it's gonna be hard to recover going into Detroit tomorrow, it feels like.
for sure. I think that you cannot lose. I mean, I don't think that you can win all those games and not be gassed at the end. I think that the Detroit Pistons coming out of that second half, they were just on fire when it came to that second half, and they came back and like you said, they made a comeback for the books for sure. So that's exciting. I'm just looking forward to the next round, to be honest with you. And as for like you said, the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's one of my teams. I like the Trailblazers. I like the Timberwolves. I like the Lakers just because I'm an old LeBron fan. But as for the Timberwolves, I'm hoping that they go this year. It'd be a nice sight to see OKC versus Minnesota, and I would like to see take that next step, go to the finals
Yeah, it sucked what happened to Dante DiVincenzo because he was at a heck of a year. Um, Anthony, we'll see about his status. I know they said week to week, but what I will say is credit to the Spurs. Wemby, he's like an alien. What's up, Cooper? How are
Yo,
you?
what's up? Just want to do a surprise appearance for the boy Alex Joe on the good old podcast here, and y'all spit some ball, man. I can really agree to some of the topics you guys been pointing out. I don't want to interrupt too much. I'll just tune in when I can, but you guys go ahead and finish the conversation you guys are having. Really excited to be here, Alex Joe. Thank you, Matt, for bringing me on. Do a little surprise for Alex. This is awesome. Go ahead and continue the conversation, guys.
You're welcome, viewers. You got 2 for 1. You're welcome.
Yes, 2 for 1.
Yes,
2 for 1. We love it.
got you. Uh, yeah. I get. We'll talk about the Bears in a sec. Coop. So same with the Wolves. Yeah. What I will say is credit to Wemby, credit to the Spurs. They're doing a heck of a job. Um, but the Timberwolves definitely feel deeper, um, as it comes for a roster and just a team, and plus the
For
experience.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, dude. The Timberwolves have one of the best benches in the league, and I think they're one of the most underrated defenses in the league too. When it comes to like, let's just say, you know, I mean, we lost DiVincenzo obviously, but we have a lot of great stars. Ayo, we got him acquisition from the Bulls, so he's been good. He dropped like 40 points the other night before he got hurt, but he should be coming back for the Spurs series. So I'm excited for that one. Jaden McDaniels. He's been killing it. I think he held Murray to like under 10 points or something like that, and points that he did score, I don't even think were on him, to be honest with you. So Jaden McDaniels is good because he has all the length in the world and he's kind of putting his offense together as well. So I'm excited for that. And he's just, I think he's all pro when it comes to defense, first team. So
Yeah. And Gobert still manages to do it defensively. Um, he gets he gets a lot of feedback, a lot of pushback, but he is still one of the top defenders in the world.
For sure, I agree. Rudy Gobert is one of the top defenders in the world. I think the thing that he struggles with a little bit is confidence going into a matchup. But when he does find his confidence, you could see it in his eyes and how he plays. He just he gets to work. And when he's not confident, that's when you hear a lot of the negative things that a lot of people have to say about him. But I mean, you're not a three-time defensive player of the year for nothing. So I think he did very good with Jokic as well in the last series, and I'm excited to see what he does with Wemby.
Yeah, true. Gonna be a heck of a series, I tell you that. Especially if Van comes back. Yeah. Also, also shout out to Mitch when he was tuning in. So I give credit to the big guy as well.
Oh,
So
you got Mitch on the podcast too, huh?
well, I thought you said that Coop and Meech were watching, but yeah,
Well, Coop's Meech is at work, so he said he might be able to tune in, but yeah, I know Coop wanted to join and say what's up to you,
yeah,
talk a little turkey.
yeah. Coop, with you on, it's hard to not talk about the Chicago Bears and what they did this past season. The surprise, Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, that combo. I mean, kept saying the cardiac bears at the end. I mean, just your thoughts.
Man, last season, man, was one of my favorite seasons of Chicago Bears football since I was born. It was magical. It was exciting. It was electric. It was the best time to be a Chicago Bears fan, and it's been one of my 13th reasons these last 10 years. Ever since we can even make it back. 2018 was a rare sight, but it was amazing to see it. Caleb Williams is really progressing and coming along. um I've been through this process too many times to really put all my chips in the basket and say I'm completely sold. I am sold on him. I'm not going to say that. Caleb Williams, my guy, he's my quarterback and all that, but we still have to see if he can really grow off of last year and not move backwards, because we've seen that all the time in the league. So, we can talk about of CJ Stroud. What an amazing rookie season. He hasn't been able to replicate it. Everyone thought he was the truth. He hasn't been able to replicate it, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm sold off of one season. It was an amazing season. He had an amazing year, but let's go out and do it again now. Let's really prove that this is a team that we think we are, right? Ben
Yeah,
Johnson, on the other hand, though, Ben Johnson's that dude. All right. There's no doubt in my mind about Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is that freaking dude. All right. He's out here doing that thing. He's a year two coach, and I think he's top three coach in the league. And I don't know if I can even put him as low as 2 and 3. So he's out there absolutely doing that damn thing and getting these guys ready to ball. And the team's coming along nicely. The draft wasn't what me and fans were probably expecting. With the need at defensive line and edge help, and us not taking a defensive lineman until the sixth round. That really threw the fans off. The thing about Ryan Poles is he's not gonna reach. He's not gonna reach, and he's not gonna do a trade where he feels like he's at a disadvantage, even if that player does fill a need that we have. And so he stuck to his board, and he took the talent where he saw talent in those positions, and we're just gonna roll on ahead. And from his words, he's gonna coach better and he's gonna do better things at that position of the defensive line and edge. But we'll have to see till next season.
yeah, true. I mean, spot like with Matt's Rares, the Bears play in a tough NFC North.
Oof.
So
Oof. Brutal.
that's yeah.
Brutal. Brutal NFC North.
But hey, if they can win it again, they'll certainly earn it.
Hey, we weren't supposed to last year. So
true.
That's what I'm saying. If we're supposed to be, it's funny. I was even watching the division playoff game again the other day, and the thing is, I think coming out of the NFC, the Rams, I mean, they were the best team in the NFC, right? And we took it down to the wire with that team, right? So there's a lot of optimism, a lot of awesome. I think we went head to head with considerably the one and two best teams in the league at that point of time, and we went toe to toe with them, right? So super excited about what the future holds. The
Yeah,
Raiders, though, don't get me started on the Raiders.
Yeah, we're just we're trying to replicate what the Bears did with Ben Johnson with Kubiak. That's our
Facts.
hope. That's
Facts.
our
And I'm
hope.
fine with Fernando, he's going to get his time to sit under Kirk and, learn a little bit. And, I'm not sold on Mendoza either, but, that's just the Bears fan in me and not really liking rookie sophomore QBs. You don't really know until you know. Great example is Cam Ward last year. Cam Ward was a very highly sought after first round pick, and we still don't know about him, right? So we'll see
Yup,
how the
yup.
Fernando Mendoza train goes, and I'm hoping for the best for him. I'd love to see some competitive football come out of Vegas this year.
Yes. We're gonna compete for sure. I don't know if we're gonna even hit the wild card this year, but I think within the next couple of years we'll be all right.
Yeah, with the new rebuilt, revamped offensive line, I think that's going to kill it. I think Ashton Genty's going to be on the top of everyone's fantasy boards this year, and if they're not, they're silly, right? He's going to have an incredible year behind that offensive line. I heard you talking about your fourth round pick. Oof, really nervous about that one. Really, you did degenerative tissue in his knee. His knee is not injured and actively degenerating. I mean, that's just not what you want to hear as a big fan. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, he probably is going to be, if he can get healthy, one of the best picks out of this draft. Probably a top 10 pick when you look back at it, if he's going to be the players that everyone thought he was a year ago before he got injured. But with the issues arising of the degenerative knee, ooh, I don't know, man. I honestly thought he was going to fall to a sixth or seventh. I thought the Raiders reached for him a little
Dang,
bit there in the fourth.
really?
Yeah,
See, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Coop, but like I think that like when it comes to like the fourth round, and we have a lot of veterans right now at CB. I think that I'm not. I think fourth round is good enough for him. I could see him going to the fifth, but Buck, I think he wouldn't have been there at the sixth, to be honest with you.
yeah, and who knows? I know all these teams get to do their own private medical too, right? So I don't know what the doctors saw there. So maybe in their eyes it looked a lot better than the reports that are coming out. But I wanted him. I wanted him bad, just not at a fourth, because of the concerns that arise around him. But he's gonna be a dude. If he can get healthy and he can get that knee figured out, bro, he's gonna be a star in the league. Like not even just like a fill the spot type guy. He's gonna be a star in the league for you guys. But you just gotta get him on that right track, and hopefully your guys' organization does him right, and doesn't try to make him do too much too early, and really put his mind on
For
that
sure.
knee and becoming the player of the future instead of a player right now.
yeah.
You know what? I feel like we talked a lot about the Raiders. We talked a lot about the Bears, but I feel like there's one elephant in the room that we haven't heard a lot of information about. How about them Pats, Alex Joe? Let's go ahead and hear your words about your guys' draft, your guys' season. How are you feeling about the Patriots right now? Let's hear it, Joe.
There's um positively about Mike Vrabel. He did he did a hell of a job. Well, he and Josh McDaniels did a hell of a job improving Drake May in the second season. He
Oof,
did that.
what a turn up. What a turn up from Drake May.
Yeah, I didn't expect I didn't expect, but I thought we did a heck of a job last year. You know, yes, Will Campbell got some crit criticism in the playoffs, but for the most part, when he was healthy, he and Jared Wilson helped out that offensive line, and they did wonders on the offense. Got to give credit. Also, what they did on defense. So I mean, I will definitely say that And then Super Bowl against the Seahawks, I wasn't too surprised. I mean, yes, it was surprised. I mean, heck, I was said that if Bo Nix was healthy, that the Broncos will have won, but the
That would have been a
spell
scary
went
team
our way.
too. That would have been a scary team too. Shout out Gannon.
Yeah.
Shout out Gannon.
Shout out Gannon. That would have been a scary team. I have some questions, Alex Joe, with all the recent controversy regarding your head coach. How do you feel about that? Because I've even seen recent reports as where he's thinking about resigning from the position because of all the stuff going on with his personal life. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I mean,
You don't have to comment. You don't have to comment. You can say no comment. You don't have to. You don't
um,
have to.
no comment.
No comment. That's fair. You
Oh,
know, just talk. We could talk about the ball that's on the field. You know, I respect that. Let's talk about the ball on the field. I mean, hell, like that's one of the guys, right? That I'm not going to put all my chips in the basket with. Like I said, I'm not really a fond guy of these 1 2 year players. You really don't know on this position until about year 4 or 5 when they can actually stack a couple years together. But wow, what a year from Drake May. That guy could be the real deal for a long time over there at the New England, and that just pisses me off. That's like the Packers going Favre to Aaron Rodgers to now Jordan Love. Freaking Tom Brady had, I mean, maybe a couple years in between, few years in between, to now Drake May. I'd be real excited if I was a Pats fan, man. That's a quick turnaround. You don't usually always gets that. You can ask Teo. Um,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
you can
Definitely.
ask me, dude. I mean, we've been in rebuild fucking forever. Excuse my language. You can blurb that out.
No, I think the thing is about with my team too is I've only seen him have two good winning seasons in 2016 when Derek Carr broke his leg, and a couple years back when we met the Bengals in the wild card round of the playoffs, and they actually ended up beating us to go to the Super Bowl. But those are the only two years that I've actually seen my team I mean, excuse my
Hey,
French, compete.
blurp that. Blurp that. Watch your language.
Flip that.
Eh. And YouTube silly these days, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
blurp it out. Blurp it out. We apologize, Alex Joe.
you're good. Um, Koopa, we'll say Drake May is like you said about Caleb, you know, you would like to see him build off that and
Stack the
go
years,
to
man. Gotta stack the years.
yeah. I mean, Mac Jones had a heck of a rookie year, but wasn't the same on that.
Right.
So um jury's out, but it was a healthy year for Drake May and company. Um Stephon Diggs, he had a solid year, release him, could resign him. There's those rumblings about AJ Brown trade. Um,
AJ Brown would be huge. I know Hill's a huge free agent that still hasn't been brought into a locker room this offseason. That could be huge for you guys too. I mean, I have the biggest problems right now with Hill because of the locker room situation. I feel like he just doesn't gel well. I feel like wide receivers in general. I feel like AJ Brown has the same problem. They just have these superstar mentalities where they don't gel well with the locker room. But I mean, two huge and completely impactful players that I would not be unhappy if my team were to acquire them. But definitely some big questions around their head about how well they can gel with a team like that.
yeah, I mean, if you have the right teachers and the right coaches in the room,
Yeah,
then
you just need mentors. You need some mentors in there, dude.
it's like,
You know, keep the main thing the main thing.
yeah, it's like, yeah, I think Vrabel would be that kind of solid mentor. Um,
Yeah, but I think Vrabel would be good for either of those guys because Vrabel doesn't deal with no BS from anybody.
yeah,
He ain't gonna deal with no superstar wide receiver coming in somewhere with the big old head. He's so that would be a good coach for either of those guys. I feel like they could do a good job with those players.
true that, true that. And going back to the Bears, yes, you guys had some hiccups. He Dahlman retired unexpectedly, and you guys traded DJ Moore, but um, with the Burton showed some good flashes last year, and then Colson Loveland, who I'm hearing good things
I
about.
mean, a
More.
dog.
That's yeah.
No, great things, great thing. I know it's one of the most impressive rookie classes I think I've seen. Shoot, if I can even remember. I mean, this was to get talent like Luther Burden and Colston Loveland, and let's not forget about Kyle Monungai, seventh round rookie running back, putting people on their backs. I mean, the talent that we got from the last draft is actually just insane. And that's why I feel like I have so much hope, even though the draft didn't go the way me and fans were hoping and filling the needs that we as fans thought were our biggest needs. I just trust Ryan and Ben to just go and get talent. Even if we're not going to fill the immediate hole we need, the guys that we got on draft day are going to be studs, and that's why I have confidence in with this group of men leading the Bears organization right now. And so, really excited. Hopefully, we can repeat that success. I mean, like I said, last year's draft class was, I mean, the talent was tremendous. I mean, we wouldn't have the season we had if we didn't have those three critical offensive players, instantly plugging in and doing the thing. So hopefully we can replicate that success with this draft. Have some really good upside on these players, but my main question still looks towards that defensive line and that edge. Can we get to the quarterback? Can we stop the run off the line and not making sure the running back gets to that second level? Let's stop it at the first level. Let's contain the QB. Let's not have these 15-second passing opportunities of them rushing. So still some huge questions, but we won't find out the answers until week one.
Well, at least on the bright side, even though your main concerns are edge and defense line, the offense, despite it being a tough division, the offense lines for the Vikings, Lions now, and Packers are a bit in question. So that's at least right side.
Right. Very right. It's a tough division. It's unfortunately, even though it was a success last year, I mean, anybody can go out and get it. I mean, the Vikings right now with Kyler Murray, and then they have a hell of a guy at coach too. So it's I feel like they're right back with it. Kyler Murray, Justin Jefferson, and then that play caller over there. They're gonna be a scary offense to go up against now. Again, now then they were scary last year with JJ, and JJ, I feel like was holding them back a little bit. And so now, I mean, it's anybody's race. I mean, it could be Packers, Lions, Vikings, or us. Now we're all, instead of battling for three and fourth, I feel like we're all really truly battling for that one spot on that division board. So it's gonna be a heck of a year. It's gonna be a heck of a year, and that's what you want out of your division. Of course, everyone says they want. Well, I mean, you do want an easy division and get just your easy playoff bite. But I mean, what fun does that make? You have a hell of a division like the NFC North, and you're gonna have some fun football to watch this season.
That's one thing that I could say too is the NFC North, and for sure NFC North is the hardest division in football, no doubt about it. I think that my AFC West and NFC North are one of the hardest divisions. Your guys is obviously way harder than ours, but our coaches in the AFC West, I mean, we got Harbaugh, we got Andy Reid, we got, I mean, Kubiak. I mean, he's still in his prove it year, but I mean, we have
Still a dog. Still a dog.
Sean Payton, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a crazy division for both of us, bro.
Yeah. Facts.
Especially for you guys. I honestly think that, like you said, the Packers are A1,
What's your
but the
language?
Lions, yep. The Lions, the Packers, the Bears, oh my, you know what I
No,
mean?
dude.
So
It's a. I feel like we'll see about the Vikings. We'll see how Kyler Murray adjusts with that offense, if they are going to be as good as I think they could be. But I mean, I think the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears are all NFC Championship teams. And they're all in the same division, fighting for that playoff spot. So it's gonna be an amazing year for being an NFC North fan, at least. It's gonna be cinema. I mean, we put up, I think the Bears Packers game was one of the most watched games outside of the Super Bowl since like for the last 6 years or something. And I feel like we're gonna break that record again this year. People are gonna be tuning in to these NFC North games because of how competitive that football is gonna be. And I think the same thing with the AFC West, you know?
I think that the wild one of the wild card spots is going to be for sure taken for your guys' division. So you're going to have two playoff teams for
For
the
sure.
foreseeable future, for sure,
For sure.
guaranteed.
For sure. No, it's gonna be a
Oh,
happy year, dude. I just wish it was week one already, dude. Too excited.
I know I'm pumped, Joe. I'm
The
pumped, dude.
the draft came and went too fast.
I
Yeah, true,
know.
true. I mean, as far as the AFC, we know there's going to be multiple teams in the AFC North and multiple teams in the AFC West. And it's going to be one team from the East and the South. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a fun year of ball. It's gonna be a fun year of ball. For sure.
Well, I
For
thought,
sure.
yeah. So it's like we know your expectations, Coop. Matt, uh, what are your expectations and uh,
Realistic. Let's add that
Um,
in there. Realistic expectation.
we're gonna win the Super Bowl next year, man. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly think that that's like I said, bro. AFC West is one of the harder divisions in football. I think realistically, I'll be happy if we win 9 games. To be honest with you, it's kind of a stretch. I don't know what Kirk Cousins know if he's gonna end up shitting the bed. But I
Who's
think
your guys'
Fernando
wide
Mendoza.
receivers? Who's your guys' wide receivers right now?
We got Naylor from the Vikings. He's a pretty good wide receiver
Yeah,
too.
no,
Um,
he's not bad. It's not bad.
he's not bad. We got Trey Tuck 4-3. He's short though. That's the only problem with him. I mean, he has a pretty good vertical, but he's kind of small for being an X or Y. I could see him in the slot for sure. But as I mean, we got Brock Bowers. I consider him like a hybrid tight end wide receiver
Did you
because
guys
we
draft
last
wide receiver
we did
in the
draft
high
one.
rounds?
Yeah, we drafted one from I think was it either Notre Dame or BY, no, not BYU. Baylor, it could be either from Baylor or from Notre Dame.
I
And
feel like
he's
that's
not
one of
bad.
your guys' big things you guys are still missing. You guys don't have a true go
Yeah,
getter at the wide receiver position, you know, and it's
for
super
sure.
important for a rookie quarterback.
For
I
sure.
mean, when you have a guy learning the playbook, you want a wide receiver that is at least running the right route. You know what I'm saying? And so I wouldn't be surprised by if by season start we didn't see you guys do a little bit more moves on that position right there, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be cool, bro. Jalen Waddle went to the Broncos, which is again shout out Gannon, but I was kind of hurt on that one.
Yeah.
And then the year prior, I kind of wanted DK before he went to the Steelers. This year, I mean, AJ Brown, or like you guys both said, Tyreek Hill and AJ Brown have their own problems off the field. So it's just like, do I want them? Do I don't? AJ
Classic
Brown
Raider.
produces. He gets 160 yards in a game. In the next 4 games, he'll have 32 yards. So like,
Right.
it's kind of weird. Tyreek Hill is a little older too. He still has his quickness and stuff, but I think that I don't know. I don't see him joining the silver and black. I actually see him going back to the Chiefs, to be honest with you, but we'll see how that goes.
And that's what I think too. I think the only team that may even take him is the Chiefs. I think everyone's sort of mm, yeah, he has a ton of upside, but I think his downside on like off the field and in the locker room is outweighing the ups.
Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Very
All
cool.
right, we're back on. We're back on. We got some technical difficulties, but we're back on. We're back ready to go.
Cool. And I also sent the link again to Coop. So let's see.
Word. Sounds good. Yeah, he said he's gonna join on. I got about 30 more minutes, but let's talk a little bit more turkey.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily the links are like 45 minutes. So yeah.
Hey, the studio liked us so much they gave us more time on the program. You heard?
Overtime, overtime.
They gave us more time on the program.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Um, yeah. So I know you guys were talking about the expectations and what Jalen Waddle and him getting traded. Yeah, that was a big trade for Broncos again, shout. And but yeah,
Shout
it's
out Gannon. Yep,
but yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean the Broncos are a scary team too, dude. I mean, like I said, I've said it, on repeat this entire time. Let's see if Bo Nix can stack a couple years, but he's looking really nice. That Broncos team's looking scary. That defense is it's always been one of the better ones, and they continue to do that.
so I gotta cut you guys off here. I don't know if you guys saw it, but you saw his ankle before and after surgery. That was crazy. That didn't look too good, bro.
No,
So
it looked great for a Raiders fan.
yeah, look good for us, but I don't wish injuries on anyone, to be honest with you. But that did not look good, bro. So
Mm-mm.
let's just hope that he gets back on the field, and because he's a mobile quarterback, even though he doesn't run a lot, but he's mobile and he can get those yards anytime he needs. So to be honest with you, I'm hoping that he just gets his health back and he's ready to go.
You know who his exact pro comp is, and that's why it's going so good? Drew Brees. If you look at him and just the way he moves around a pocket, the way he operates an offense, dude, he looks like a little Drew Brees. And I bet you Sean Payton is
Like a
licking
big Drew
his
Brees.
yeah, he's licking his chops, dude. Because now he just has to run it back. Now he just has to do it again because he has the same prototype of a player that he's already had the most success with.
For sure. I agree.
That's a scary
I
team,
agree.
those Broncos. It's a scary team.
Yeah, like I mean Alex Joe, I know they played you guys and you guys ended up beating them, but who knows what would have really happened in that game, to be honest with you. Bo Nix was a dog all year. I'm saying that as a Raiders fan. I do not like the Broncos at all. But I got it, like I said, I got to shout out Gannon, I got to shout out good coaching. So they're on track too, man. I think that they're going to be a lot better than the Chargers are. I think they're going to be a lot better than the Chiefs for sure. I think actually, to be honest with you, bro, I think the Chiefs are on their way down. They got the best coach in the NFC AFC West. My mistake, but they signed Travis Kelsey to a 3-year deal. He looked like he was ready to retire at the end of last year. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they got something under their sleeve. So we'll see about that.
I mean, I agree from watching the Chiefs this last season, and I don't know, just the optimism of them falling off. I agree. I don't know. They're just not looking like the same team, but I also can't write off, you know, the two peat, three peat, almost three peat type team. They almost did that thing. So I'd love to see the Chiefs regress a little bit, but I mean, it's still Andy Reid and it's still Patrick Mahomes. It's
True.
hard to write those guys off. It's sort of like Aaron Rodgers with the Packers in his prime. It didn't really matter who the hell was around him. It was Aaron Rodgers. They were gonna be in the playoffs no matter what. And I just with Pat Mahomes right now and Andy Reid with the way they're moving is it's hard to count them out in any way. Even though I'd love to see them glide under the radar for a little bit and let some other teams shine.
yeah,
What do you
I
think about
mean
that, Joe?
yeah, I mean we talked about we just mentioned Bo Nix's injury. Patrick Mahomes, recovering from that ACL. I mean, it's like we know that the media and the NFL want Mahomes to be healthy for week one, but considering when he got the injury, it's certainly a question of how much he'll play this season. And, you know,
Hey, Justin Fields, new Kansas City
Yeah.
Chiefs QB1.
Yep. That's why they got him too. I think that he's gonna do pretty well. He's not no Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean? But he's gonna be good, especially as a backup quarterback.
No, Andy Reid's going to turn Justin Fields into a Taysom Hill. Justin Fields is no longer the same player that we've always thought as just a QB. He's now Taysom Hill.
That'd be sick. I could see that. That'd be
Watch
cool.
him get used in Andy Reid in a whole bunch of different ways. I wouldn't doubt if he started QB just until Patty comes back. When Patty comes back, I wouldn't be surprised if I see him lined up in tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple plays I see him lined up in running back. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him lined up running back in a wildcat formation, standing next to Patrick, and you just don't know what
There you
QB is
go.
going to get the snap of the ball. There's a lot of ways to work that player in, and yeah, I don't think Justin Fields is the QB anymore. I think he's a Taysom Hill type player. He's going to be a extremely successful gimmick player for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And they did draft Garrett Nussmeier late.
Could see it.
So
Yeah,
it's possible that that is true.
yeah.
To use like a wildcat. But yeah, it's not out of the realm that the Chiefs finished last in the division this year.
It was a rough year for him. I feel like with the injuries and all that. I would love to see him miss the playoffs again next year, but it's one of the harder teams to count out, no matter what's going on with them.
They're certainly a team. They're certainly. I feel like they got much more questions than answers going into the season. It's like
You would be
Rashid
correct.
Rice, can he stay out of trouble? Xavier Worthy, you know how fast he is, but Travis Kelsey is, production decline. The offensive line, is not right. Um, yeah, I mean, I love Karlaftis. I love Nick Bolton, players they have on the defense, but they also trade away Trent McDuffie, their best corner, to the Rams. So there's plenty of questions. The Chiefs
Plenty of
fans.
questions. Who they got at running back right now?
Oh, they signed Travis
Pretty fun.
Etienne from.
Oh yeah,
ETN.
ATN.
That's a good
Or
That's
pickup.
no,
good.
not Etienne went to Saints. Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth
Oh, there you
Walker.
go.
Nope.
That's
Super
even
Bowl
better.
MVP. Super Bowl
Yeah,
MVP. Yeah, that's not a bad pickup at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Just around the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like they haven't really got a guy back there that really stuck it through. They had some good guys over the years, but no one that's really taken the mantle of the role of running back for that team. And so, yeah, Kenneth Walker. That's. We'll see if he can do it.
yeah, that's big. That's a big pickup for
It's a
sure.
big pickup. It's a big pickup.
Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco I liked early on, but that injury kind of
Yeah,
worsened him, and then now he's with the or the Lions. I think will do well complimenting Gibbs, but Ken Walker. Um, Now it'll be interesting because Zach Charbonnet, part of the reason why he was healthy was Zach Charbonnet uh, held him well with
Yeah,
him.
he took a lot of workload off him for sure.
So we'll see how he is. But yeah, Chiefs certainly have a lot of questions. Uh, yeah,
tons.
yeah. Um, Now we talked a lot about football. We mentioned some basketball. Coop, have you been same with Chicago because the Bulls, it's looking pretty like perhaps a turn a corner, maybe as far as front office. I don't know. But Billy Donovan left. Their front office is I don't know what's going on.
I
Chiefs
don't
is
follow basketball at all, so I don't know.
Coop's a Timberwolves fan.
I'm a players fan. I like players. I don't follow basketball that time. I follow college basketball. You want to talk about the Lobos? I could talk your ear off about Lobo basketball, but
I mean,
yeah, NBA. I don't know much about NBA. Let me tell you right now.
See, and
LeBron, LeBron
Me
in
and Cooper
7. That's
flip
what I
flop.
know. We didn't talk about NBA. LeBron in 7. That's what I do know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the Lobos certainly. Yeah. I'll tell you this. I'm glad we got. I was disappointed with who we lost in the portal, but I was certainly glad that we retained J. Cole, and not only that,
Yes.
being with his brother, his son.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the situation with when we had a couple years with JT Toppin, I feel like if we kept JT Toppin one more year with that Donovan, True Washington, Patino's last year, if we had JT Toppin on the team, I think we would have been a top 10 team in the nation. And that's sort of how I'm feeling right now about Jake Hall. The fact that we are able to retain Jake Hall for another year, and he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the nation, not alone in the conference, in the region, in whatever, in the nation, one of the best 3-point shooters. And then we also got a huge European pickup because when we didn't know if Jake Hall was coming back, we had to find a point guard and a shooting guard. We got like some 6'9" European guard that is also an incredible scorer. He's coming. We got Dax coming. We have a couple of other Europeans, some 7-footers coming. I mean, the team, I was super impressed last year because no one expected it last year, right? Year one rebuild, not a single returning player on the roster. I mean, the season we got last year off that roster was incredible. The fact that we got another year to build on that roster with all the success we had last year, I mean, I think it's a shame that everyone left the Mountain West because I think even if everyone stayed, San Diego State, Utah State, we would have ran them. We would have ran them. The team that we're putting together for this next year is going to be incredible, and we have a serious Sweet 16 hope chance there. I think that's a Sweet 16 team coming out of New Mexico.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is New Mexico, small market and whatnot. It's why, and the funds. It's like, I mean,
Yeah. Nope.
basically,
We'll never have the NIL to compete, but
that's why it was great that Jason Eck, came back to resign.
huge, huge. We'll have another good football season.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
We'll have another good football season, and it's just hard. It's just hard to build that football program. I think, I mean, when Eck leaves, probably after next season, he'll probably take that next step. It's just going to be such a hard hole to fill because there's not many coaches like Eck willing to take that pay cut to build a team like the Lobos. And we're very fortunate Eck did that, but it's gonna be a really hard hole to fill. And then if we can't fill that hole, we're in the same problem where declining ticket sales, declining funds going into the program, and so hopefully we can just stack up some years and become a good little mid major in football. But right now I'm just gonna count my blessings and know next season is gonna be a fun season. But looking forward any point past that is just it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to have a lot of hope.
Yeah, true. It's like I was on the field taking pictures for when they beat San Diego State in the
What a
regular.
game. What a game. Can't believe that didn't get us into the championship.
Yeah,
Freaking computers.
yeah,
Freaking
Yeah,
computers. We should have been in a Mountain West championship, but
for
it's always
sure.
next. There's always next year, and I mean, even then, we're talking about the recruits for the basketball team. I mean, we've had a heck of a portal for the Lobos, one that we're not normally used to seeing as football fans, right? We don't see many big names come into the Lobos, but I'm pretty sure we have like a 4-star and some 3 stars coming in, which is just unheard of. And super excited. Yeah, I mean, super excited for basketball and football this next season. I mean, incredible. And I don't follow the baseball team that much, but I know they have also been incredible too. So a lot of good stuff happening around the New Mexico sports.
yeah. The baseball team, it's weird, um, because I'm the one that mostly takes photos for the Lobo, and they
Mhm.
started 12-0, and now they didn't play the best competition,
Right,
but still, when you start 12-0, there's expectation,
right.
and they started losing, and blowing leads. And I was like, what is this team?
Yeah.
And they're over 500. It's like against State. That was a back and forth game. They lost 16-15 in overtime.
Tenth inning loss, right?
Yeah.
OT loss. Damn, I did see that.
Um,
They hit a grand slam at the bottom of the 10th, but what
ooh,
Yeah, they went to the 10th, 10-10 Teo. The game ended 16-10.
dang, bro, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Six runs in the 10th to win it for State.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker, Joe. Were you there? Did you watch that live?
yeah, I was
Phew,
there.
that
Yeah.
is a heartbreaker to watch live.
Because like they were ahead 5-2, and then they tied up, and then we took the lead, and then they were up 9-6, and then we retook the lead 10-9 at the bottom of 7th. We let run one run, um, and that's the thing. When we took the 10-9 lead, the bases were loaded as well, but um, they got one more out, and yeah, and then they tie up top of the 8th, and yeah, it was just
Heartbreaker.
crazy game. So
Heartbreaker.
That sounds like a heartbreaker that I wouldn't be willing to watch. That's awful.
yeah,
No doubt, no doubt. Well, gentlemen, I have the pregnant wife at home, and she's needing me. So I want to thank Alex Joe again for allowing me to crash this podcast. And great conversations. Had a great time. Thanks you, Teo, for planning the surprise for him. That was a lot of thought on your point, and really appreciate that. But you guys go ahead and continue the conversation however much needed. But thank you again for having me on the show, Joe, and looking to do this again. But you guys have a good one. Talk to you guys soon.
yeah,
Later,
appreciate
cool.
that too. Thanks. And yeah, jump on the podcast anytime. Just let us know or let me know. Yeah,
Yeah, so I got about like 10 more minutes, Joe. But yeah, I got about 10 more minutes. We could do a little bit more.
sweet. Also got a shout out because we talked about the Lobos, and I saw um at the last home game of the season, I saw both Matthias and Aaron. I had an interview with one of them, so for an assignment. So that's cool.
Yeah, shout out Matthias too. Shout out Matthias. Shout out Aaron Coop's pops, Matthias's pops. Yeah, they're diehard Lobo fans. So when it comes to a basketball game, you're not gonna see them not there.
Yeah, it was it's cool to see everyone when it comes to supporting the Lobos. Yeah, because there's not many things like the pit.
For
Sex.
sure. Yeah, it's electric for sure. That's one thing. I don't watch a lot of college basketball, but every time you go to the pit, it's you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be electric. There's gonna be sparks in the air. People are gonna be drinking beers, getting crazy. That's just a New Mexico thing. So I mean, shout out to the pit. They've done a really good job at keeping that a main attraction for Albuquerque. So that's good.
Yeah, if we can just find find a spender, someone to help with the funds, keeping some of these coaches, players. Yeah,
So Alex Joe, let's go off on a tangent here. We talked a little bit of college football. I mean college football and basketball, we should say. Let's go back to the pros. What do you think about this year's playoffs and who are you rooting for and what do you hope to see happen?
it's um I think the definitely think the Patriots, well, Patriots and Bills, I definitely think will be there. Um, one or two, whether it's win the division or one of them is a wild card. Definitely think those two. Um, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh is on. I'm going with the Ravens again. Find a way to win the AFC North. Um,
New coach too.
yeah, Jesse Minter, like him.
Yeah.
Uh, but hey, Lamar, Derrick Henry. Um, It just feels like the most comfortable pick in the AFC North at this point.
I agree. Even though Derrick Henry's getting up in age, he's Derrick Henry. I consider Derrick Henry a top three running back of all time easily. Um, he's his longevity is crazy. It needs to be studied. Tennessee Titans for years upon years, and then he comes to the Ravens and he fits right in first year. And when we were doing our fantasy football draft, people were oh Derrick Henry's washed, and his first year as a Raven, I picked him up in like the fantasy football draft, and he went off for me. He was my actual running back number one, which was cool because nobody really thought of him, and you cannot write off Derrick Henry. So I think that this coming year, with the coach, new captain in command, I mean they did lose Tyler to us, so let's see if they could fill that gap on the center and the guard area. But you can't count them out like you were saying. So I'm excited for the Ravens. I love Lamar. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, and I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised that he went so late. I think he was like 32nd pick, 31st pick, or 33rd pick, something like that. But I always knew Lamar was going to be MVP of the league.
Yeah, let's see on that. AFC South, I think Trevor Lawrence turned the corner with Liam Cohen last year, and with CJ Stroud on decline, don't know how. I mean, I love Jonathan Taylor, but Daniel Jones coming off those injuries, Jaguars and Duval County in the AFC South winners. Simple.
Duval's cool. I like the Jaguars too. I think they're coming up too. Shout out Chris Streets. That's a one of my buddies' teams is the Jags. Um, I think that they're gonna be a good team as well. Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence. Let's see what they do. I'm
Yeah.
excited for them. Another team that we need to watch out for that we were actually just talking. Well, we weren't really talking about them. We are talking about their division, but the Panthers. The Panthers had a great free agency. They had a great draft. Looks like Bryce Bryce Young's gonna be the next. He's gonna be. I don't know if I'm sold on him completely yet, to be honest with you. But last year was such a huge improvement from him. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, that division to me feels like a toss-up because, we mentioned Matthias a little bit ago. The Saints, Tyler Sharp, to me, was rookie of the year last year. And
Yeah,
uh, we'll see about the Saints. As far
for
as
sure.
I'd say Broncos and Chargers will make out the AFC West as playoff teams. I'll say that. Um,
Okay,
yeah. NFC East. Um, I like this optimism with the Giants, but I think Philly still takes the NFC East.
I agree. I agree.
Um, NFC North. Um, sorry, Coop, but I do think the Lions. I do think the Lions and the Bears will be playoff teams.
For sure.
I
Yeah, I
gotta
don't know
wait to
about the
see how
Lions too.
Todd
I
does.
think I think for sure the Bears are going to be in there just because they have such a good coach. As for the Lions, I kind of was disappointed with the Lions the past couple of years, to be honest with you, especially last year. Um, they uh they didn't show up, let's say, in the playoffs. So I mean, the Packers showed up. Packers had a hell of a game when it came to the Bears. So obviously the Bears ended up, or it was the Packers. Who ended up winning that game again? I know it was a good over. Wasn't it overtime game?
Packers, Bears, and the wild card. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, Bears came back down
Yeah. Bears
18
came back.
points.
Caleb Williams pulled some heroics, running all over the field. He probably ran 25 yards back, threw it up, and it was in. So that was crazy. Like I said, I don't even remember who won that game because it was such a back and forth game. So I mean, that was cool. Like I said, shout out Coop. I think his team's gonna either win the division or get that wild card. I'm not too sold on the Lions yet. I still think that the Packers are gonna be there.
Yeah. I mean, Vikings, we'll see about Kyler Murray. And Packers are hard to just put a finger on, honestly, for me.
For sure.
Now Micah Parsons will return, so I'll say. Um,
Yep, Michael Parsons. They got Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love. They lost Quay Walker to us, and he was a great linebacker.
yeah,
So I'm excited for him, but he was a big piece of their middle field there. So let's see if they can fill that gap as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But I do got to run, Alex Joe. I got an appointment with my niece coming up. I haven't seen her in a while, and I'm gonna take her to the park and stuff like that. But I just want to say thank you for inviting me to the podcast, bro. And I got one more question for you before I go. Who do you want to see in the NBA Finals?
NBA Finals. I want to see Detroit and Minnesota. That's who I want to see.
Okay.
That
Okay.
um,
And who do you want to win?
Minnesota, Minnesota.
Hey, there you go, Joe. All right, all right. Another thing is, we didn't get to talk about much of hockey today, but shout out the Minnesota Wild. That's my hockey team right here.
Yeah,
So shout out to the Minnesota Wild. Hopefully they do some good things. But again, thank you, Alex Joe, for having me on. We're gonna have to do it again after the draft next year and talk some more turkey, bro. I appreciate it.
yeah, we'll do. Thanks again, and thanks again to Cooper showing up.
All right. Later, Alex Joe. Have a good one, brother.
Later, and you too.